My name's Stuart Campbell. I'm the producer of the Classical Weekend, which is a biannual festival organised by a local charity called Classical Sheffield. Classical Sheffield was formed in 2014 and aimed to connect music makers around the city. Sheffield is absolutely phenomenal for extraordinary wealth of talent, amateur orchestras, amateur choirs, professional arts organisations, concert halls, amazing education work that goes on in the city. But in 2014 we just felt we didn't really talk to each other that much and wanted to connect to the city musically, but also grow new audiences for classical music. And one of our aims of the Classical Weekend is to make more music with more people in more places. The weekend that's just gone, Classical Sheffield 2019 Classical Weekend, featured over 60 performances in 7 venues. We had 10,152 people experience classical music in the city. That could be in venues such as open spaces like the Winter Gardens, where people could come and hear 30 seconds of classical music, or proper more traditional concerts and more traditional venues.
That is awesome. No, it is awesome. Right, okay.
Do you want to talk about your event? Yeah. So Joanne approached me when we were planning the Classical Weekend about maybe a year ago with a really interesting project to combine a chamber orchestra in the city with a gospel choir. For our festival weekend, we had 3 themes. One was celebrating women in music because it coincided with International Women's Day. One was future makers to promote educational work in the city, but also new music, future compositions. And the third one was Beyond Borders, which combined music from different world traditions or different things. Joanne's project was absolutely brilliant because it combined all 3 themes into one concert. So it was an absolute no-brainer. So we corresponded over the course of the year to try and make it work logistically. And I have to say it was one of my highlight concerts of the whole weekend, because if our aim for Classical Sheffield is to get more people to engage with classical music, you could evidently see so many people to that venue, so many people to that concert experience were new to Classical Sheffield. It really did sort of bring lots of different audiences in, and it was really important for us to do this concert in a venue that wasn't traditional. We did it at Kelham Island's Industrial Museum, which is a really, really beautiful space. And the concert hall can sometimes be really, really very intimidating for people. There are lots of kind of rules and rituals and things you can do and things you can't do, and we try to sort of declutter that for the whole event. And I was going around the festival quite busy throughout the weekend, but that was one of the concerts I did actually stay for the whole thing for, and it was just a phenomenal experience. And it was just really lovely hearing the voices, then going into some orchestral stuff, going to hear more of the choir. It visually looked outstanding, and as I say, if our one aim for the weekend was to grow audiences and diversify audiences, I thought that event did it brilliantly.